Our topic this morning, the law of karma. Bondage or soul release. And in the Bible is a statement, as you sow, so shall you reap. Whatever you plant, you will harvest the same thing. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And Yogananda tells the story of Trilanga Swami, the saint of Varanasi. And the skeptic once determined to expose Trilanga as a charlatan. And he tried to poison Trilanga with a large bowl of caustic quicklime, and telling Trilanga that it was buttermilk. And Trilanga drank the whole thing down, but it was the skeptic who immediately fell down on the ground with great pain in his stomach. And he said, "Help, Swami, help! I'm on fire. Forgive my wicked test." And Trilanga said, "You didn't realize when you offered me poison that my life is one with your own. Except for my knowledge that God is present in my stomach, as in every atom of creation, the lime would have killed me. Now you know the meaning of the divine meaning of boomerang." And the well-purged sinner, healed by Trilanga's words, slunk feebly away. And this reversal of pain was not due to any volition of the Master, but came about through unerring application of the law of karma. Man of God realization like Trilanga allow the divine law to operate instantly, not by reason alone, but by self-realization, are the intricate ins and outs of destiny fully understood. Only great masters can see karma clearly from above, in superconsciousness. And in the Gita, Krishna tells us something very similar. He who beholds inaction in action, and action in inaction, is wise among men. He is one with the Spirit. He has attained the true goal of action, perfect freedom. He is free from karma, who is content with whatever comes to him uninvited, who is even-minded, and who views success and failure with equanimity. All the effects of karma are nullified, Krishna said, and one achieves liberation when ego attachment ceases, when one becomes centered in wisdom, and when all of one's actions are offered up to the infinite. And one of the most basic, but for all of us in some way or another, one of the most difficult lessons in life is to accept life the way that it is, to accept our karma, to accept our circumstances. And the common reaction we hear is, "Oh, people misunderstand me, they mistreat me, and my marriage is unhappy, I hate my job, and, poor me." And Yogananda said in response to that, he said, how many people excuse themselves from the need to change, saying, "Karma, it's my karma, I can't change it." He said, if you really love God, then dwell in His consciousness. in the consciousness of eternal freedom. And Hari was reading earlier that Swamiji said, acceptance comes from knowing that reality lies within, and everything outside of us is a dream. Accept all that comes to you as coming from God. And if you live for God, He will give you what is best for you. And the chances are there are still some lessons for you to learn in your present circumstances. And God has planted each of us in the place that we need to grow. And the more we live from that inner center of calmness, and the more we offer ourselves in service to God, the more our outer circumstances and our attitudes towards our outer circumstances will also change for the better. And once you've learned today's particular lessons, then if you ask God, He will give you new lessons. He will give you guidance what to do next. And maybe you will change. Maybe the people around you will change. The circumstances will change. So that then you can learn new and wonderful lessons in this dream, this game of life. And Trilanga Swami saw that lime as coming directly from God. And common sense would have told him not to drink it. But he knew that God had some higher plan in mind and that he would be protected. And he lived so much for God, he had that perfect faith. And it's that faith that each of us needs to learn, to develop. Jesus, just before he was arrested and tortured and killed, he prayed. And his prayer, in essence, to God was, I'd really rather not be doing all of this. But if it's your will, then that is the only important thing, is to follow that will. And by his following God's will, people have been inspired over the ages. And Yogananda Ji would tell the story of a man who was told that he had just 3 months to live. And he thought, well, if that's the time I have, let me use it in the best possible way. Let me meditate more. Let me do my best to be one with God. And he would meditate longer, and he would pray, Lord, come into this broken temple, the broken temple of his ill body. And 3 months passed, and a year passed, and he was now meditating much of the day. And after 3 years, he was still healthy, and he had this experience of divine light. And after he came down from this samadhi, he prayed to God, and he said, I didn't ask for a healing. And he realized that his whole body was completely healthy. I didn't ask for a healing. I asked only that you come into this broken temple. And the voice of God responded and told him, where my light is, no darkness can dwell. And that is the destiny for each of us, is to merge with that light, and then no darkness of past karma, of physical difficulties, of regrets. None of that has any importance anymore. And what happened with this man is all of his karma had been burned up in that light. And Kriya Yoga, its particular purpose is to burn up our karma. As Sri Yukteswar said, the past lives of all men are dark with many shames. But everything in future will improve if we make a spiritual effort now.
I too would like to share a few thoughts about karma. Karma is the most commonly misunderstood word. And Paramhansa Yogananda also says that in India, too much emphasis has been given to karma. People cry, karma, it's my karma, what can I do? It's my karma, how can I change it? And Paramhansa Yogananda says that it's absurd. Whatever has been done can also be undone. And karma is not an excuse for the lack of devotion or lack of love of God. Karma is not fate. And even fate, in Autobiography, Paramhansa Yogananda says that even the heavens support us and motivate us to overcome the limitations set by ourselves due to the past actions. And karma most often is used as an excuse, especially when things go wrong. And when unfortunate, sometimes karma is used to console ourselves. But Paramhansa Yogananda says that we'll have to understand that karma means an action. The root word of karma is kar. In Hindi, the word do means kar. So why does an action separate us from God? And Paramhansa Yogananda explains that too. It would be nice to explain that with a story. People usually think that their life is predestined by karma, and we can work out all our karma and then we can be one with God. Paramhansa Yogananda says that one lifetime is not enough to close the circle of countless acts that are initiated during a person's sojourn on the earth plane. Once Dhritarashtra, the blind king, the Kuru clan, after the war was over, he went to Krishna and he cried and he wanted to share his sorrow and asked Krishna to understand. He went to Krishna and asked, Krishna, what did I do to deserve this? I had 100 sons. All of them are dead. Why? Why should God do this to me? Not even one single son of mine is alive. And Krishna smiled and replied to Dhritarashtra, saying to him that 50 lifetimes ago, he was a hunter. And he hunted down a bird, only to realize later that he had killed a mother of few birds. And the partner of the mother bird was angry and was upset, so it came and attacked the hunter. And the hunter got angry. He said, oh, you are pecking me and you are hurting me. See what I am going to do to your chickens, or the young ones, and he killed all the young birds which were on the nest because he was feeling angry and he wanted to take revenge. And this caused a great deal of sorrow to the father bird. So that's why in this lifetime he had to undergo the same suffering. He had to see all his sons die in the battlefield. And Dhritarashtra calmly reflected to this story, and he asked, what was I doing for 49 lifetimes then? Why this punishment should be given at one go in this lifetime? And Krishna said that to have 100 kids, you need to have a lot of good karma. So to last 49 births, you were accumulating a lot of good karma so that you can the circle can be completed and you can reap what you sowed in this lifetime. So the karma is, and the way it works is very complex, as Keshava read. Only a man of self-realization can look at it from above, from superconsciousness, and understand that. Most of us think that I will work out all my karma and then I will merge one with God. Now that's a small misunderstanding there. That we cannot exist without action. Karma means action. And even being inactive is also an action. One devotee asked Paramhansa Yogananda that if karma is just action and the reaction to the same, a universe's response to the same, what if I just stop acting? And Yogananda replied that just try. Even the projection from your ego that I won't do an activity is itself an activity. So what is the way out? Yogananda says that it is good to do a lot of good karmas, but a person who does only good karmas, he should also be born again to enjoy the fruits of his good karma. He is still bound to the chain, to the circle of cause and effect. He is not yet liberated. The right approach to overcome all the karma, to be free, is to identify ourselves with God. After we become one with God, our karma will cease to exist, not the other way around. And if we could shift our identity from ego consciousness to soul consciousness, we will be free from karma. Freedom is now and immediate for a person who is putting out the effort. It is irrelevant to the karma he has acquired. And there's another story by Raman Maharishi. A layman once asked that if I realize that I am one with God, then I will be free from all karma. And Ramana Maharishi said, yes. When will I realize that I am one with God? And Ramana Maharishi shared a story with him about 10 stupid brothers. So all the 10 brothers were crossing a forest and they had to cross a river which was flooded. So they held each other's hands and then they safely crossed the river, which was really where the water was flowing at a great speed. So one brother wanted to check if everyone has reached the other shore. So he started counting. He started counting from 1 to 9 and he didn't count himself. Then he said oh my God, only 9 of us are there. Where did the 10th one go? The other brother said, wait, I will count. He too did the same thing. He counted everyone and left himself. And when the third brother counted, the first brother, he started breaking down. He started crying, oh my God, we lost one of us. And the worst is we don't know who it is. And they started crying, and another villager who was passing by saw what is happening and decided to help them. But when he tried to explain, all these people, all these stupid brothers were crying out loud, and they were not in a position to listen to what the farmer said. So he said, let me do it this way. Close your eyes, and I will give one blow to each of you. And when you receive a blow, count the number 1, the second blow, count 2. So he went and then gave one blow to everybody just to bring them back to their senses. And then the 10th blow, the 10th brother said 10. And then they were all happy. Oh my God, you found that missing brother, we are all safe. And Ramana Maharishi relates to this story. Just like, did those brothers really lose someone, one of them? Did they gain something after they found out that all of them were there? It was just their ignorance where they thought they lost one of them. Likewise, we are also, it's our own ignorance if we think that we are not one with God right here, right now. If we could affirm that I am free with intensity, our freedom will be immediate, here and now. And with that affirmation, with meditating with that intensity, not meditating to God, meditating in God, meditating that we are already free. As the chant today said, I am free, Blessed Spirit, I am free. If we could affirm that, we will be free from all the karma.